Hey everybody, it's Bishop Barron. The United States Conference of Catholic Bishops has chosen Word on Fire to publish the Liturgy of the Hours, 2nd edition. Our aim is simple, to bring Word on Fire's experience in publishing beautiful books to this daily prayer of the Church. Liturgy of the Hours is offered around the clock by clergy, religious, and lay people throughout the world. It's an ancient, structured way of praying Scripture throughout the day, focusing especially on the Psalms. With this edition, our goal is to spark a renewal in this great tradition, drawing it into the heart of Catholic life, into our families, schools, parishes, and communities. This endeavor marks one of Word on Fire's most ambitious publishing projects to date. In this video, you'll see the careful reflection and meticulous attention to detail that's gone into the creation of these volumes. Our design team has improved the readability of these texts while curating the finest materials from around the world, giving the Liturgy of the Hours the care and craftsmanship it deserves. So, enjoy this creative overview of Word on Fire's Liturgy of the Hours, 2nd edition. May God richly bless you.
Bishop Barron was very direct in he wanted a gift to the church. He wanted this to be beautiful.
A book, no matter how usable it is, if it's not beautiful, if it doesn't beckon someone to use it, then what good is it? If it doesn't draw someone to it, then it's not doing its job.
The Liturgy of the Hours is the heartbeat of the church. It's a sacramental, it's an extension of the Mass, and these are extremely beautiful, rich, ancient prayers. Designing a book that was worthy of those prayers is something that was very important to us. We look at our phones all day, every day. We wanted to create the most beautiful book possible to encourage priests to pray with their book.
Why not just use a prayer app in order to have this kind of devotion? In other words, what's the importance of having a physical text? In a religion that is sourced on the Incarnation, there is a necessity to ensure that particular aspects are set aside that are consecrated entirely to the glory of God. And this includes books. To own a text where its only purpose for being is prayer. So why pray the office? Because the office is, as the Second Vatican Council says, the voice of Mother Church. It's the voice of the Church crying out at every hour of the day throughout the world to the glory of God the Father. The Liturgy of the Hours, like many liturgical texts, are not often translated. So this is the second time it would be done since the closing of the Second Vatican Council. We're continuing to be inheritors of this prestigious tradition that goes all the way back to Jesus himself, who also prayed the Liturgy of the Hours in its Jewish form. I was deeply struck when I saw the initial copies of the Liturgy of the Hours produced by Word on Fire, just first and foremost by its beauty. Looking through it, the attention to detail that is not just professional, but is spiritual, that really gives the one who is holding the book a deeper sense of the mystery that they're trying to embody in that moment, is something that I deeply appreciate about this new edition. It speaks deeply to my heart as a priest as well, and I know that it will continue to do so in the decades to come.
The old version was kind of this edge of the page to edge of the page text. In this new edition, we've greatly improved the layout of the prayers page to page. I think of this, the analogy of a messy desk. You know, you come to work and your desk is a mess. It's not a good start to the day. But if you tidy up your desk, well, now you've decluttered everything. That immediately has an impact on your brain, on your focus. So we've kind of done that in the book. We've got the parts of prayer rubrics off in the sidebar in the margin now. That actually builds in some breathing room, some space to the text. So the typeface that we're using is called Trinité. Experts have observed that we tend to read shapes in words rather than each individual letter and character. So Trinité has some really nice variance in letter form height. You can take the analogy of a skyline. So if every building in a skyline were of uniform height, you'd have a hard time telling the difference between one skyline or another. But take the Chicago skyline and you look at the Willis Tower versus the John Hancock Center. Well, now you're creating some variation in height. Now you're creating a recognizable shape to the skyline. Jumping back to the previous edition of Liturgy of the Hours, the font that they used was of lower contrast in terms of these variations between expression and letter height. So we've cleaned all that up, created a really nice clear structure to the prayer, and we've cleaned the desk. Thinking through the trim size of this book, the materiality of the book, how we wanted someone to use it and hold it in their hand, that was something very critical for the design of this book. And so that's where we landed with the format that we did. You compare this edition with the previous edition. I remember the first time I held both in my hands and I opened up the previous edition and I could feel my hand cramping up and the book wanted to close on itself or flop out of my hand, and our book just laid there. And any page you turn to, front or back, it would just lay comfortably in my hand and I could position my hand any way I wanted and it would just lay open and it was comfortable.
Creating a book like this, manufacturing a book like this, is very difficult. The partners for this project were extremely important to us. We wanted to choose people who could make the book that we were dreaming of. Our partner for this project for the paper is PDL. They're based in France. They make some of the best thin print paper in the world. The different fillers that they have in the paper allow it under light to be evenly illuminated across the page to limit glare. The mix of fibers that they use, both long grain and short grain fibers, allow it to be extremely durable and resist tearing as much as possible.
This process is not easy process, so we have to give strong properties and high optical properties to the paper with low substance. The end result is to give the mechanical properties strength and tear by maintaining optical properties. We are very specific and we are specialists.
It's truly an incredible paper. It's easy to print on. The text kind of jumps off the page because of the color. And then the feel of the paper is kind of this perfect silky matte feel. And we wanted it to feel good to pray this book. Turning the page is really something that you can only do in a physical book. And so the paper that you'll be touching so much was extremely important in adding to that. We're using a custom gold ink with additional metallic content in it. Typically, gold ink kind of sits on top of a heavily coated paper so that the metallic properties of that ink can shine. To our knowledge, no one has ever printed a thin paper like this. So a lot of troubleshooting had to be done, different print tests, different inks were used to try and get an effect to help the gold pop as much as possible on the borders and images throughout the book. For the leather for this project, we went with a company called Cromwell Leather. They've been operating leather tannery for books for over 100 years now.
Cromwell was started by my grandfather's uncle. We've been in the leather business since 1899. Our leather is a very specialized leather. We make leather primarily for bookbinding. Of all the leather in the world, a very small portion, less than 1%, is used for bookbinding.
We probably went through 100 different leather samples from a dozen different leather manufacturers all over the world. The specific leather that we chose for this project is a full grain leather. That means it's 100% natural grain and natural structure of the leather. Full grain leather is more durable than top grain leather.
In Spain and Portugal, we have the best raw material. And in the Valencia region of Spain, we have the best know-how. We combine those two, and the result is we get the best bookbinding leather in the world. It's a leather that is made from steer hides, which is very important, not from milk cows. The steer hides are younger and plumper and fuller. Now that's a lot of information about the origin, but when you end up with wonderful leather, it starts from the very beginning.
Most books or leather products out there are top grain leather. They'll take a leather hide, they'll sand down the top of that leather to remove any natural grain pattern, scarring, bug bites that are on the animal hide, and then they'll stamp a artificial grain pattern into that leather. For this project, we went with a full grain leather, so it's the 100% natural leather, natural grain that's on top of it. Depending on where on the animal hide the cover was cut from, every Liturgy of the Hours book will have a unique grain pattern. It's tanned specifically to age beautifully.
And that expectation is that that leather endures not for 10 years or 20 years, but for generations, for centuries. And we have to build all of those properties into the leather itself. So sometimes we are asked, how should I care for the leather on my book? And the answer is very simple. Use the book. You don't need to put any creams or any polishes on that leather. That is all built into the product by us. We tan it properly, we add the tanning oils, and we add the protection. If you use the book and hold it, over time it'll become even more wonderful and develop a patina. You'll hold it at the spine and you'll use the book and it'll be uniquely yours. It is very similar in a way to a glove or a baseball mitt that you have that gets better over time. It may get wet in the rain or coffee might spill on it. You can wipe those off. Those are built into the protection of the leather. You drop it on asphalt and it shouldn't scratch. The reason is that our leather is fully penetrated with dye. It's not just on the surface, so you're not going to see something white underneath. May never happen, but it's there for you.
We consulted about a dozen different printers all over the world before making our final decision. The best option available to us was to print these in Italy. Our printing and binding partner for this project is Lego. The company Lego literally means I bind in Italian. They are experts at binding a book.
The company has been a bindery for quite a long time across 2 world wars. Now we are maybe the largest company in Italy doing this kind of job. We use the machines, but we use human control. The human beings are the most important thing in production. You may have the best machine in the world, but if you have not the right kind of person, you will not produce a good quality. And we are confident that the printing of this book is going to be quite nice.
The gilding on the pages. Books are taken through this process where the edges are sanded down through different grits. The gold foil is applied to them, and then after they're gilt, they are taken to an outside vendor who'll spray the books by hand, 2 coats of red paint over the top of this gold gilding to give it, it's called art gilding, this beautiful red over gold. And as soon as you open up, you see that deeply liturgical, kind of beautiful red pop through on the sides of the pages.
Extra ribbons, which I'm very happy about. And again, only my brother priest could sympathize with me in this particular regard, perhaps.
We went through a ton of kind of research and development with how the ribbons are adhered to the spine. The more ribbons that you have attached to the spine, the more difficult it could be to bind a book to lay flat in your hand. So the way these ribbons are connected is different than a typical book.
A book with ribbons will be opened many a times, a book like this. So they must be strong. Strength needed a particular attention in how you attach the ribbons to the spine of the book.
I was just excited as a priest because I've been praying the breviary for over a decade now, every day, 5 times a day. It's such a central part of my life and devotion. And to be honest, there was room for improvement and growth. And I believe that Word on Fire has answered that call.
There are so many different parts of this project where true craftsmen have to touch the different components by hand to make the end result. Every leather cover is cut by hand. Every book is hand inspected by someone at Lego, making sure that it's up to quality. So many different highly skilled laborers are integral to creating this book. You can optimize it for a number of different ways, including price or portability, size, but we wanted to take the opportunity to optimize this book for prayer. Every single thing from the size of the thread that's sewing the cover together, to the size of the font, to the font choice, was intentionally chosen by experts in their fields. Everything was truly deliberated and labored over for an extended period of time. We felt very strongly that this project is a gift to the church, and for us to be able to give a copy to every seminarian across the United States is incredible. We're extremely grateful for the donors behind this project to give these books away, for this to truly be a gift to the next generation of priests.
It's going to introduce a whole new generation of Christians into the beauty of prayer, the liturgical life and prayer of the church.
This is really beautiful, and it's easy to read.
Special, sacred, like you've put a lot of thought into it, and it's like a very important book.
Well, I really like how this feels. I really like the real leather, and I'm really enjoying that there's actually beautiful artwork in this book while I pray. This font is really readable, and I can see myself carrying this around for many years to come.
You can just let it like rest in your hand, and actually it feels very comfortable and very good materials. I really do actually love and feel very comfortable with the way that the margins and the layout is all arranged. It feels very nice and very good, very professional.
It looks like a sacred book, just the binding. It has a nice breakup too of having some pictures and just introducing each different section of the breviary. It looks really beautiful, looks really dignified. And
the thing that's most striking is the consistent margins all the way throughout, at least as far as like the actual pages.
I like kind of you have morning prayer, vespers, you have those laid out together.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
It's a great feel in your hand, especially if you're sitting down, standing up, and praying the breviary. Sometimes those little prayer books are too tiny. Sometimes you don't want a gigantic missal in your hand. But this breviary, I find, rests very snugly in my hand, and it's beautiful to look at.
It will be hard for me to hold like any real but fake leather, and I'll be like, oh, it's just not the Liturgy of the Hours.